More times. And then squeeze those shoulders up and take a little rock side to side. And then relax that. And then we're going to take that band, we're going to take it wider than shoulder width so that we can wrap it around our hands and end up a little wider than shoulder width, right? So now we don't have to necessarily grip it hard. And then a little bit of space between your feet, shoulders roll up, back, and down. And we're just going to start, we're going to lift the elbows a little higher than the hands and squeeze up and back. And squeeze up and back. And as you do that, try to keep those ribs down so the ribs don't pop up even as you squeeze. A couple more. Beautiful. And you're going to bring those arms a little higher, pull the ribs down and in, and squeeze back and down. So just posture muscles. And as you do this, I want you to think about not just squeezing back, or not squeezing just down, but also open and back. So kind of a miniature lat pull. So elbows are going open and then down. And then finally, if it's okay with your shoulders, you go a little higher. And again, it's not just down, but it's open and down. So you can't actually do that on a lat pull because it's a piece of metal. Couple more here. Last two. And last one. Relax that down. And let's go ahead and lasso your left foot in the band. And then the tail of the band goes into your right hand. Rotate so your palm is facing the front so we get that shoulder in that open position. Turn your left toes in, stay tall, and then lift that left leg. Keep those toes turned in so you're feeling that in that outer hip area. And then with your palm facing front, add a little bicep curl. And now the hero's here. Your mat isn't all the way rolled out, is it? I'm sorry. You can have mine. No problem, right? Two more. And then hold this one up, bicep curl and leg, and we're just holding for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. All you're going to do is shift that band so it's in the same hand. So left leg, left arm. Then you're going to lunge forward on that right knee bent. And this time your thumb is going to be pointed forward. Lunge into it. Choke up on the band so you can bend your knee and kick backwards. And kick backwards. And then with that thumb facing up, if you want to, you can add a bicep curl. When the leg kicks back, your arm goes forward. So they come together and then apart. Obviously, this takes some balance. And hold and relax. All right, leave that band in your left hand and move it onto your right foot. Rotate the palm open so it's facing me. Turn your right toes in and then lift. And then if you want to, add that bicep curl with the opposite hand. Little face peeking. Two more. And then hold this one, bicep and turned in leg. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then all we'll do is put that band in the same hand. So right foot, right hand. Choke up on it a little bit so that you can kick back. Kick back and add that bicep if you want. And hold for 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Shake that out. Quick little stretch. Left leg over right. Arm to the sky. Stretch tall. And then press your hip. And back through center. Right leg over left. Reach, reach, reach. And press. Beautiful. Bring that down. You're coming down to a seated position. Have your band with you. And you're seated at the front of your mat. And we're going to fold the band in half. And bring that around behind our hamstrings. And then on this first hinge back, keep everything in line and then use your arms to pull yourself up. So just bicep here for a second. Then on this next set, use half biceps, half abs. And then biceps are still there, but loose grip and use just your abs. And then you get to figure out what combination you want to use. 100% of one, 50-50, 25-75, or whatever. Last 2 like this, and last 1, sit it up. Keep that in mind. That's going to be one of our options a little later. Then bring that band in front of you, shoulders up, back, and down. Let's do those same things that we did before, pulling up and back. It's folded in half. It'll be a little harder. 2 more. And then this time, go ahead and hinge back. And then while you're hinged back, press out on the band and pull it down. Just staying in this hinged position, abs engaged, ribs down. Again, shoulder work. And relax. Band comes behind you, and you use that to lower yourself down and hug the knees in. Take a little stretch side to side. All right, and then put those feet on the ground. And we're gonna keep that behind us. Palms to the sky. We're gonna do kind of the same thing, but this time instead of hinging back from the top, we're gonna hinge up from the bottom. So I'm gonna just use my biceps to pull myself up a couple times. And then I'm gonna go 50-50. My biceps help, but my abs engage. And then finally, I'm gonna just use my abs. And then on this last one, lift up, stretch your arms away, rotate those palms to the sky, hold here for 4, 3, 2, and 1, relax down. All right. So hopefully this next one isn't gonna like mess with your hair or anything. You're gonna take that band behind your head, not down at your neck, but right where that neck and head come together, occipitus if you know those terms. And then elbows to the sky. And I often say you're not going to pull on your neck. So what we're going to do here is use our abs, but support the head. So you see it didn't start with a curl and a tuck. It starts with the abs working, but the head is completely relaxed here, pressing against that band, hopefully. Two more here. Last one, we're going to hold this up and then we're going to extend those arms overhead. And again, we're going to press out and out and out, 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 and out, and relax. All right, single leg stretch with this challenge, but we'll have an opportunity to switch it around if this bothers your back. So both legs tabletop and the band goes across the top of the top of the right thigh. Fingers are reaching towards the ankle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach to the ankle, but at the same time, I'm going to try and pull the knee in. I'm going to reach and pull. Left leg can add a little straight and pulse, straight and pulse, straight and pulse. If that bothers your low back, because that's a little challenging for that, bring the band behind your hamstring. And I'm going to try and pull with my biceps and press away with the leg. But again, I'm doing both at the same time. So it's a press and pull. And then again, that left leg is just pulsing. So you might be pushing on the front of the thigh, or you might be pulling on the hamstring, and the arm's doing whatever the opposite is. 2 more, because you've been there a while, and relax. And then we're going to bring that to the left thigh. Again, it's across the top of the thigh. Right leg is extended. I'm going to reach with my fingers and pull in with the leg. Reach and pull, reach and pull, reach and pull, reach and pull. Option to bring it behind at the hamstring. Pull and press, pull and press. Whichever one works for you, doesn't matter. And release. Woo! All right. Let's take that band. And you're going to take the fold and put it across the top of the right foot. So it just hangs in space like that, across the top of the foot, and then crisscross it behind the arch, and you should end up like that. Hopefully we're on our right foot, because I don't think I said that. And then I'm going to use my right hand. I'm going to kind of come up close to the foot, and then with the arms straight, I'm going to pull down. So I'm engaging those muscles behind the shoulder. I'm going to pull down. And pull down, and pull down. And this time I'm going to pull down. I'm going to leave it there. I have the option to bend the elbow, whatever's going to work for you for leg circles. Left hand on the left hip. Start a tiny circle in one direction, reverse it. Start your circle with an inhale, finish with an exhale. You can make those circles bigger. If you have the flexibility to stretch the left leg out on the ground, feel free. Try and keep that right shoulder and the back of the head on the ground. And of course, this is about keeping that left hip quiet, even though that right hip is moving in the hip socket. And you're stretching that leg as long as you feel like you can make it, reversing every time. And release. Bend that knee, untangle yourself, right foot on the ground. Band goes across the top of the left foot, and then around the behind, crisscrossing. I'm going to bring my left hand up pretty close to my ankle with a straight arm, pull down. So I'm working again, those posture muscles. And then I'm going to keep that arm down. Maybe I go to a bent elbow, point the left toes, straighten the legs, start with small circles. Right hand to the right hip to make sure it's not moving. You can make your circles bigger. Nod your head yes. You can straighten the right leg out on the ground and flex through that heel. And release. So this time, we're going to take the band across the tops of both feet, and then the tails come in between, right? So now you've lassoed both feet. And once again, just press those shoulders down. Back of the neck is long. Pull your abs in, flatten your ribs. And we go into our double leg lower. If this is a lot on your low back, bend your knees and turn this into toe touch instead. So once again, the band is assisting us, but therefore we might be able to have better form than usual. And relax. Let's put the band in just your right hand. And then with those legs straight, they're going to go left and center. Left and center. 2 more, left and center. Left and center. Now they're going to go right and center, right. 2 more. And then take the band into your left hand, and the legs go to the right again. And then they're going to go to the left. And keep everything how it is. But choke your hands way up close to your ankles. You're going to lower your legs until they roll your upper body up off the ground. And then you're going to hinge back with your upper body till your legs come up. So it's a seesaw motion, right? One goes up, the other goes down. What comes up must come down. Seesaw. This is the fun one. Remember this for later when we do the unfun one. 2 more. And then next time you come up, see if you can hold it. Maybe you'll be able to loosen your grip and get your arms a little higher for our teaser position. And then bend your knees, put your feet on the ground, sit nice and tall, wrap your hands, and then just a typical rowing motion. Again, just working that posture. And then you can begin to straighten those legs out and pull yourself forward into a spine stretch. And release. Okay. Getting into this next one is always the little bit of a challenge. So bend your knees toward me so that you're sitting almost like a mermaid, one leg on top of the other. So you have a top leg and a bottom leg. Fold the band in half. Take the folded part underneath both legs, and therefore it ends up in your top hand. And then you're going to go ahead and lie all the way down. While you do so, you stack up ankles and knees. Keep the top band, the fold of the top band into your hand, and then reach over and grab as close to your thigh as possible. And then with that top arm, you knuckle it down on the ground. So it's not going to lift and lower like that. It's going to stay down. Pivot your toes apart, heels together, and press open in the clam. Waistline is lifted. From there, press open a little more and a little more. And then press the heels up in the air, press open against the band, and again, press more. And release. Oh, maybe give that hip a little bit of love. And then as you're ready, we switch everything up. So once again, the folded part of the band needs to go under both thighs. Grab that fold in your top hand, keep it in your hand, and then bring it across so you can knuckle down. Heels together, toes apart, waistline lifted. Press open, and then from there, open more and more. And then knees down, heels in the air, press open, and then from there, more. And relax. And once again, feel free to massage that hip. And we're going to pivot over onto our abs. And as you do so, unfold the band and just drape it across your tailbone area. Come on over, relax for a moment. Let your forehead rest on your hands. Maybe bend your knees, windshield wiper. And then stretch your legs long. Toenails stay on the ground, kneecaps lift. Press your pubic bone into the ground, but lift your abs, the belly button. And bring your hands by your side, palms face the ceiling as you grab the band. And your hands are basically resting on your glutes, so they're fairly close together. First thing you want to do is squeeze the shoulder blades, and then deep breath in, exhale, pressing into the toes and the pubic bone. Float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground, lift those arms and press them out just a little to the side and back down. Inhale. Exhale, stretch, reach, lift, and press, and down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale to lift. Inhale to stay tall. Hold there. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale, stretch, reach, lift. Inhale, and down. Two more. Last one. Hold it here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we'll press all the way back in that resting position for a moment. And then as we come forward, let's undulate in that cow-cat. And then take one end of the band down very much towards the tail of it and squish it between your left big toe and your second toe. If you need to, make a little knot so it'll stay in place, but make it nice and thick. And then take the front of the band, the other end of the band, in your right hand and sweep it across so it goes across your right shoulder. So it's on your left toe and in your right hand, but it comes across your back on a diagonal. Then stretch that left leg out. And you can just hold this, or you could add a lift and lower. You can keep it there, or you could add your right arm up. And you could keep it there in a bird dog, or you could lift and lower both. And then let's just hold steady bird dog and release. All right, turn that bottom part so it's between your right big toe and second toe. Make a lot of squishiness to it. And then it comes into your left hand, and it goes across the back of your body. So on a diagonal over your shoulder. Find that neutral spine, extend that right leg. Hold there or lift and lower if you want. Hold there or add the left arm. And if you want, both of them come up and down. And then we just hold this one and relax. We'll stretch those toes in a minute. Let's move on to the next one. Bring that band behind your upper back, underneath your armpits. And then you have tension. You could do a right angle with your elbow, but there'd be tension on your band. And then make your way down onto those elbows and forearms. Let everything drop down. Nod your head yes. And then just press yourself against the band so you have tension there. Try and keep your pinkies on the ground. From there, lift your hips up. So we're in a pre-plank and we're pressing against that band. You should feel that challenge. It's not a pulse right now. Let's just hold it. You could roll onto the tops of your thighs and continue to press. You could tuck those toes and continue to press. And relax. Again, we'll just windshield wiper side to side. And then as you feel ready, you're going to come on over into a seated position. And just whatever's comfortable with your right leg. Bring your left foot in and your your right hand is going to play with your toes. Right? So I might pull my right toe back, my left toe back with my right hand. I might pull it away. Maybe I put my hand on top of it and add resistance. Behind it, add resistance. Try and press it open. And then maybe fingers intertwine toes and play with those. And then whatever's comfortable with that foot, and go to the other foot. I'm going to pull and push on that big toe. I'm going to press against it in all three directions, not necessarily in, but you could. And then maybe add those fingers between the toes. All right, and then we're heading over onto our spine. As we do so, you're going to fold that band in half again. One hand simply goes in that fold, and then we drape that whole band across our hips. Try and get all 10 fingertips on the ground. Encourage your wrist down, your forearm, your elbows, your triceps, and your shoulders. And then from this bridge position, lift your hips up, but don't let your hands come up. And then push up an extra inch, an extra inch, an extra inch, and press, and press, 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 and hold, and release. All right. Okay. So going back to some of the things that we've done so that you have options as we build to as we crescendo to the end. Hands behind your hamstring, band doubled up. Exhale, lift up, and maybe inhale, reach through the arms, and exhale, help yourself down. So this is option one. And you're going to stick with this if that's what makes sense to you. All right. Next option, we have to lasso our feet together. So again, the band goes across the tops of both feet and then around through the arches. So it looks like that. And then again, I'm going to put my feet on the ground. This one's a little more awkward, but it just prepares us for the next one. And I could do that same thing. I could pull up, I could hold here and back down again, right? So those are the first two options. Next option, lying down. We're right back to that double leg lower. Not that this one is easy, right? And then next option, you're going to really need to walk your hands far up that band, close to the ankles, then lower the leg to maybe a 45-degree angle. And then your challenge is, can you pull yourself up without moving those legs? And then can you roll yourself down without moving those legs? So upper body is moving, hopefully legs are not. And then next option, come up to that balance point, try and keep the upper body still, but lower the legs. Take a quick little break. Those are all your options except for the final one, which is legs and upper body both move, but not the seesaw that we did earlier. You know what's coming. It's come from a complete still position to all the way up in your teaser and then all the way down. All the way up and all the way down. And if you're doing that teaser, let's do one more and just hold it here. See how much we can work on perfecting it. And relax. All right. As you come down, you're going to bring that band into a parallel position with your right foot. So length and length. And that foot comes up in the air. Take that band and pull the toes back so you feel a big stretch already. And then grab that front of that band with your right hand. So your toes are pulled back. You probably feel foot, toe, calf, maybe some hamstring stretching here. Press the shoulder down and then point the toes to the sky. Pull the toes back, pull the ball of the foot back, and press the heel up. Do that one more time like that. Ball of the foot pushes up, and then the toes follow. And then bring the toes and the ball of the foot back. Then turn it pigeon-toed. We'll do that same movement. Ball of the foot and toes press up. And then toes and ball of the foot come back, heel presses. Rotate it out, duck-footed. And again, ball of the foot and then the toes. And then the toes, the ball of the foot, and the heel press up. And glide your hands down the band a little bit so you can put your right elbow on the ground. Let that right leg hang in space so you're getting inner thigh and hamstring here. Use your left arm to grab that, pull it back through center, stretch your left leg out, and put your left elbow on the ground. So now the leg is you're getting that passive stretch on the right hip. And then back through center. We're going to bend the right knee in. And then once again, we're going to use both hands this time to really choke on that band. So everything is pulled in nice and close. Now, I'm not going to move my hands, but I'm going to see how much I could straighten my leg. And it'll likely start bouncing, and that's fine. And then release some of that pressure, lengthen the leg out. And then using the band and your arms, slowly lower that leg and release one side of your hand. Take a moment, see what's going on in that right side. I hope it feels more lengthened out and more open. I'm going to bend both knees again and put that band parallel with your left foot. Extend that up in the air. Pull back on those toes. Once you have that good grip, hold on to that. Press the ball of the foot and the toes up. And then the toes and the ball of the foot pull back and the heel presses. Do that again. And back. Let's turn the toes in, pigeon-toed. Press through the ball of the foot and the toes. And pull them back. And go duck-footed, same thing. Ball of the foot and toes. And then pull back. And then we'll give ourselves some slack so we can put the left elbow on the ground and let that leg hang in space. Up and over you go. Straighten out the right leg. Use the right hand and put the right elbow on the ground. Let that leg hang in space. Bring all that back through center. Bend the knee. And then you really, really, really want to pull, pull, pull. Using that band to press the knee down. And then we'll see how much we can straighten. Getting that shaking, that's fine. And then extend that leg up. And we'll slowly lower it. And release. All right, let's bend both knees again. Right ankle crosses the left thigh, press it open. Take a moment. And then hug that left knee in, grabbing the hamstring or the shin. And then cross that right knee all the way over. Hello, did you burp out? Grab those knees, pull them up and over towards your left shoulder, and we'll hold here for a moment. And then slowly let those knees travel to the left. You can support them or let them go all the way. And back up through center, untangle, cross the left ankle over the right thigh and press open. And thread that needle. We'll hold here. Cross that knee all the way over. Hug the knees up to the right shoulder, hold there. And then gradually let them drop to the right, supporting them or letting them go all the way, up to you. And then make your way to your hands and knees, please. And undulate forward and back. And then we'll walk it back. Tuck those toes, press those heels, pedal it out if you like. Wide stance, walk it back, bend your knees, roll cat, and inhale cow. Thank you guys.